This is your KCTV5 News Update.
And this is video that greeted drivers this morning on their commute today. A low-lying fog reducing visibility, and that's not all. An overnight freeze left roads and interstates slick, causing several crashes and leaving multiple people hurt. I-70 was especially troubled with at least 4 crashes reported along the Jackson curve. Now, one of those crashes around 5:30 this morning forced all 3 westbound lanes to shut down for a short time. We're still working with police to find out just how many crashes there were this morning and how many people were hurt. Fortunately, it does not sound like any of those injuries were life-threatening. And just past noon now, we're looking much better here in the metro. It's shaping up to be another beautiful afternoon, but Bill Hurlbrink is here. That fog is still lingering out to the east.
There are some areas of fog still out to our east here, Kelly, like over in Marshall. You just saw our visibilities update. Still seeing really no very short visibility here at 0 miles, 4 in Sedalia and half a mile there in Warrensburg. So places out to our east are still seeing limited visibility. The wind should kick up, mix the air up, and that fog should dissipate as we go through the afternoon. KB Complete City Camera right outside of our front door here onto Shawnee Mission Parkway in beautiful Fairway, Kansas shows sunny skies under a few clouds there. Temperatures for us here close within the 435 loop. Most of us are in the 40s here, 46 in Kansas City, 48 in Overland Park. Depending on the cloud cover, we're on our way to a day of temperatures in the upper 50s, or those of us with limited clouds, when we jump into the 60s, see 61 by 3 o'clock this afternoon before we cool off. Warmest day of the week is tomorrow, then changes come Friday through the weekend, Kelly, and we'll detail those in your full Storm Track 5 forecast in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Bill. Now checking our vaccine tracker today, it's all eyes on the UK. Tina Kraus is in London for what's being called V-Day, the first mass vaccination program against the disease.
British grandmother Maggie Keenan is the first person in the world to receive the Pfizer vaccine against COVID-19. She turns 91 next week and says it's the best early birthday gift she's ever received.
So wonderful, really. Yeah.
The UK's first 800,000 doses are going to the most vulnerable, hospital and nursing home workers and the elderly.
Oh.
Like 98-year-old Jack. The vaccine is given in 2 doses, 21 days apart. British officials call the mass immunizations a light at the end of a very dark tunnel.
It's amazing to see this tremendous shot in the arm for the entire nation, but we can't afford to relax now.
Britain is the hardest hit country in Europe with more than 61,000 deaths from the coronavirus, one of the highest in the world per capita, even higher than the U.S. The UK has secured 40 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine, enough for 20 million people. The U.S. has an order in for 100 million doses, pending FDA approval. British officials admit they face huge logistical challenges in rolling out the vaccine nationwide. While hospitals are first to give the shots, vaccine points will eventually be set up in parking lots, sports stadiums, even race courses. After self-isolating for most of 2020, Maggie is thankful the vaccine will allow her to see her family again in the new year. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Now back here in the States, President Trump is hosting a vaccine summit at the White House. It's planned for this afternoon. The goal is to discuss vaccine distribution. However, the president didn't invite any members of the incoming Biden administration. Meanwhile, the president's team is denying a New York Times report that it turned down an opportunity to buy millions of extra doses earlier this year. It says the doses it's already purchased will guarantee every American has vaccine over the next 6 months.
There is strong commitments that we will be able to provide vaccine for any American who wants it, by late spring, midsummer.
Now, President Trump also plans to sign an executive order this afternoon during the summit, prioritizing Americans' access to the vaccine before any doses are donated internationally. And another green light for Pfizer. The FDA just released documents confirming Pfizer, their vaccine candidate, is highly effective. It could get the go-ahead to start distribution this Thursday. Public health workers across Kansas are leaving their jobs amid pressures dealing with pandemic and the politics surrounding it. The Kansas News Service reports at least 27 county health officials left their jobs since the beginning of the pandemic. Some retired, some were fired, and others resigned. Some senior health administrators were even assigned security after threats against them and their families. And the latest surge in cases is also impacting the way police departments operate in their communities. In Missouri, Springfield police actually closed their lobby to the public, citing a staff shortage because of the pandemic. The Howard County Sheriff's Office near Columbia has been closed since Thanksgiving. They're down to just 3 deputies, but Howard and Pike counties are transferring inmates to other nearby jails. And new today, this here is an overhead view of firefighters putting out a 2-alarm fire at a Missouri mortuary. Investigators say the fire started around 6 this morning in a cremation oven. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Now, a local gun store broken into overnight, but the owner says the thieves didn't get away with a single gun. This is video here from Hughes Defense Firearms in Blue Springs, where we're told 3 people backed an SUV right through the front window of the store and ran inside. It didn't take them long, though, to learn that the store is not an easy target, and all of the firearms were locked safely in the back.
Once they realized that they could not get any firearms, they just started grabbing random stuff, basically to make it worth their time. All in all, they maybe got $400 worth of magazines and a couple other things, stuff that have no real, value to them or the ability to hurt or endanger anybody.
Now, Hughes says this isn't the first break-in they've dealt with, and they recently upgraded their security system because of that. He says the SUV he caught on his security cameras was a black Acura with a sunroof.
Turn to KCTV5 News for the latest all day. This is your personalized update because KCTV5 News stands for you.